Well, like, now I understand that nobody's watching. It's pretty early in the morning, admittedly, but I don't sleep very well. That said, I kind of want to get back into the swing of things as soon as possible, if I'm being honest. And, well, better a place to start than to speak freely about, well, two things, admittedly. The elephant in the room. I appreciate everybody's concern up until this point for recent proceedings, so to speak. But I'm fine. In truth, I'm all right. And that said, I just kind of want to go over a brief summarization, effectively, of the critical race theory subversion that's taking place in our schools, albeit it's not a predominant issue per se as of yet, but it's an issue that is coming soon because of the subtle way that our government, our tin pot government, has gone about things in many respects. So, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to simply go through a few things, showcase the things that I've put in my videos in the past, and I hope to sort of provide to whomever watches at a later date all of the material that they will require. So with that said, where should I begin? In truth, I have no fucking idea. If you know me, then you'll know that I have a tendency to have about 483 tabs open. This time around, I don't have as many, admittedly, but I do have too many tabs open. But what we'll do is I'll share the screen. Then and I'll do this so. This is where, well, no, sorry, this was the wrong, straight away wrong tab. Right, I'll get to that in a second though. This is where all this stuff originates from. So back in 2021, the SNP had announced previously, prior to this, in their manifesto, that they had an intention to sort of revise our curriculum in Scotland. The reasoning behind it, their justification, was the fact that George Floyd died. You know, the BAME, rubber lip BAME, fentanyl Floyd, whatever the fuck you will. I'm not really in the mood to chastise the drug addict. It's like, the point is, a guy dies in America, and we need critical race theory in Scotland. Point is, though, that's not what they told you. So, this article here was when they first unveiled the few pieces of documentation that they had rubber stamped. So this article, this is the Scottish Government's website. Okay. A new package of support materials for teachers and staff will embed anti-racism and race equality into all aspects of school life. That's what it says. Education Scotland's resource will ensure children and young people see language, content, and imagery that reflects the diversity of cultures, identities, and experiences, including their own. There's a paragraph down the bottom, though, that I find particularly worthy of noting. Our new resource, this is from Education Scotland's Chief Executive, Gail Gorman. Our new resource will support the profession to teach and build a society which advances equality and actively rejects and challenges racial discrimination. Bear in mind, in brackets too, paraphrase to prefix, this is all about fentanyl Floyd. We hope that our whole school approach to race equality and anti-racism will help children and young people develop as responsible global citizens. Ties into the broader picture, so to speak, of global citizenship, which in and of itself is a grotesque subject matter that I have spoken about on many occasions on this channel. Anyway, so this came out in 2021, as I say, right? Nobody was none the wiser, including myself, of what the fuck was really going on here. You know, you fast forward somewhat though, and it genuinely perplexes me what came next. So as I say, this is 2021. I need to stop sharing my screen for a second because I don't have the tab open, and I'll get it now. I've got all these tabs open, and I don't have the one that I need open. Funnily enough, but let me just do that now. Scottish Government. Here we go. Right. Share the screen again. Just checking that the web. Yep, here we go. Fuck's sake. Hello to you. Hello, how's it going? Morning to you, bud. Very late stream. I don't sleep very well, but hi, good morning to you, bud. And to yourself as well. This guy / Eki, the Yankly Doodly Doo, whatever you are. Good morning to you both. Right, okay. I'm sharing my screen again now. So, this is what has transpired. So, the Race Equality and Anti-Racism in Education Program Stakeholder Network Group. Okay? This is what came off the back of this, which came off the back of their manifesto pledge, right? So, just to go through this a wee bit, the Scottish Government's Race Equality and Anti-Racism in Education Program was established in response to of course, fentanyl Floyd. The significant amount of correspondence received by the Deputy First Minister as part of fentanyl Floyd movement, and one of the recommendations made by the COVID-19 ethnicity expert group, seeking to include the teaching of Black history into our curriculum, because that is an imperative in Scotland. That is what is essential. Failing standards, plummeting numeracy, I could go on, but will I? Well, no, I won't, because that would be bigoted and far right of me. But what is important in this country is that we impose, subvert our curriculum to prioritise and propagandise our youth so we can think about the BAMEs. The fucking BAMEs that never existed in Scotland until, 20 years ago? But hey ho, who am I to judge you? Anyway, at the end of 2020, officials in Learning Directorate Education Scotland and the Equality Unit undertook a series of engagement sessions with education and race equality stakeholders to gain a better understanding of what the challenges are in terms of race inequality, right? This is where it gets sort of interesting. Just scroll past some of this shit. Race Equality in Education Stakeholder Network Group has been established with the central aims of identifying measures which will address race inequality, which remains evident in schools. Oh yeah, of course it does. Yeah, of course it does. It's remarkable. What do they mean by that, by the way? There's not enough Black teachers. They've got a plethora, a myriad of programs to help prioritise the BAMEs in our schools. It's white boys that are failing. So, fuck off. Working with marginalised groups and individuals to ensure that young people from all minority ethnic backgrounds. So again, it's even rhetoric like this really fucking angers me, in truth, because what that suggests is that there's going to be, well, there already is, but more prioritization is going to be put into place to prioritize non-Scots. You know? Fucking, it's remarkable. It really is. It really is. Have their voices heard and can feed into the decision-making and implementation of this group's objectives, right? Okay, we come down. This part in particular is what I want to focus on because this is where we get into the nitty-gritty, so to speak. The group will bring their different viewpoints together with evidence to develop a set of actions which address race inequality in schools across 4 distinct areas. Now, I've covered this before, and I will showcase what I'm talking about in just a second, but the 4 subset groups of the wider picture, which was the rear rep group, so to speak, are as follows: curriculum reform, racism and racist incidents, diversity, because not enough brown teachers, yeah, of course, and education leadership and professional learning. Now, if we come on to curriculum reform, right? Oh, it's fucking remarkable how this has changed. It's remarkable. But I've got you, motherfuckers. I have got you. Because I've already made a video on it. And I do find this funny. Don't get me wrong. I am not delusional in the sense that I believe for any shape or form that I am responsible for why they have edited these pages. But they have, ever since I started covering it. So, just saying. Anyway, so I'm just going to double check that I'm still sharing my screen because my cable moved and I have a shit mic. Yeah, I think I am. Okay, that's fine. Right. Hello to Oh yeah. Yeah, well they are, all right, bud. Yes, it was on point, and I do apologize for my outburst last night, but let me move on. All right. So where was I? So the curriculum reform subgroup. Wait, it's actually remarkable how much they have scrubbed from this fucking page since I covered it. Because this has been on their website for months. I covered it and it goes. Anyway, so the curriculum reform subgroup is one of 4 work streams established by the Learning Directorate working towards race equality and anti-racism in the education system. Okay? And then they refer to the other 3 subgroups that they've got. Then it says that the curriculum reform subgroup identified early on the need to review the existing curriculum framework to seek opportunities to meaningfully embed and articulate race equality and anti-racism, and to establish the key principles and features of any curriculum reform. A small review, emphasis on the small. Oh yeah, I'm gonna fuck you up in a minute, motherfuckers. And design group was created in January 2022 to take this forward. Actions to be continued. Then it comes down to the members list. And what I do see this is, by the way, so we got Kajira Mohammed, who's she's a CUNT, so an anti-white venomous parasite. We've got, and some of these people I still haven't researched per se, but Intercultural Youth Scotland, cancerous group of individuals, propagandised BAMEs who hate white people. Nazut Utamani, who's a primary teacher. I've covered her before. I could go on. This boot here, she is the woman who is part of, or wait, is it? I should have got these tabs open here. I should have it. Wait a minute. She wrote this paper. That's her. She wrote that, which I will come to. Anyway, so let's see who else we've got here. As I say, I don't know who some of these people are. Some are less important than others. In truth, her. That's the one I was looking for. Oh, we'll get to you, bitch. We'll fucking get to you, like. Anyway, so as I say, this is how their website looks now. This is the Scottish government's website, right? Now, I made a video a while ago. Am I still highlighting your man's comment? Like, can you hide that? Sorry. Where was it? Odyssey. Wait a minute. It's fucking remarkable. It truly is remarkable how much this website's changed. Let me just stop sharing because my laptop's pure spurgy. And I'll sort it out. You can do it another way, in truth. It's fucking funny. Like, they have hidden so much now from their website. But you're fucked, because I've got it. I've got it all. It's brilliant. And even if you wipe my channel, Clive Chance, no chance, who's a good lad, by the way, if you're not following him, which you probably are, good lad. He's got all the information too, so fucking get it up, you like. Just get it up, yeah. I'm just trying to find the video, and I'll show you. I want to show you the comparison before I move on to the building racial literacy stuff, because it's absolutely remarkable how much they have scrubbed from the pages, you know. And as I say, I can't say for certain, with 100% certainty, that I have anything to do with it. But come on, it's a bit weird. Like, it's a bit weird in truth. But what I'm going to do now, I've got the video up. I'll share my screen in just a second. This laptop shit, man. Really is shit. And yeah, fucking invest in a new laptop in truth. But getting there. Yeah, sorry, bear with me. Like, I'm having to deal with the circle going round and round as well. I fucking hate this laptop. It's such a shit laptop, by the way, that I can't even get like Windows 10 now. In truth, right, here we go. I've got it. Just wait for the circle to stop moving. All right, okay. Here we go. What's this? See you next on Tuesday. Oh, you mean on John Davis's stream or something? Right, are you away, bud? Good. Catch you later. As I say, this stream's more or less for people that wake up at a later date, as opposed to being up at this time of night. You know? No, I know it's not outbursts all the time, like, what the fuck. Anyway. Here we go. Right. So, this fucking laptop, man, I swear. Right. Right. Here we go. Wrong one. Here we go. Right. So we're coming to the curriculum reform section. Here we go. Wait a minute. Right. Wait. Just want to showcase it's the same fucking website. Wait, I'm waiting for my video to finish. Come on. Okay. Same fucking website. Same page. Okay. I've got this posted on Telegram, by the way, but I just wanted to show you. Curriculum Reform Subgroup. Okay. So, watch this. So, I start scrolling down. I'll speed it up a bit, like. And watch what happens here. So it says, this reform group, the curriculum reform subgroup, identified early on The need to review the existing curriculum framework to seek opportunities to meaningfully embed and articulate race equality and anti-racism, and to establish the key principles and features of any future curriculum reform. However, we come down to the vision, as they speak of. Okay? And this is where the bombshell drops. They speak of anti-racism as a highlight. But the subgroup has a vision that Scotland's schools and early learning environments will promote and embed racial equity, anti-racism, and global citizenship. Thanks for scrolling for me past tense, DJ. Anti-racism, global citizenship through its systems, leadership, and curriculum using a critical race theory framework. Okay? Critical race theory framework. Now, just to preface again, same fucking website. Where is that? Where the fuck's it gone? Where has that gone? I don't know. I'll tell you where it's no, on their fucking website. But I left this bitch highlighted for a reason. Because I'm coming on to her next. Oh, fuck, I am. So, that will then take us to the Building Racial Literacy Program, which is one of the many things they speak of. In fact, I'll probably show you the Freedom of Information request, actually. First, so, the information that was requested pertaining to this particular program, which is one of a few things that the Scottish Government have implemented funding for. So, this came out on the 21st of March 2022. Information requested was what is the content of the program, who created the program, who is evaluating the program, is the program to be rolled out to all schools, and if so, to whom? If the program is to be rolled out to all, is it compulsory, and if so, for who? And how much has the program cost so far? Right? So, the Building Racial Literacy Program, this is obviously the Scottish Government's response. Probably some wet wipe with pronouns in their fucking bio, a micro penis, whatever the case may be. Building Racial Literacy aims to empower educators to identify and implement anti-racist behaviours. Anti-racist behaviours. Yeah. Okay. And processes in their everyday practice. Building racial literacy in particular, start learning about the nuances of racism and anti-racism with the language to name it, and build the skills to continue this learning after the program is over. Now, just to cut a long story short, take my word for it, I don't have the proof to hand, but the overall intention of this group, this program, if you will, is that every teacher across Scotland will, in time, have this by default part of their teacher training. Now, what is racial literacy? Well, we will come on to that in due course. But I'm going to show you something else as well now. And I will post all these links in the description when I've finished the stream. I apologize if anybody's watching. If you think I'm not being very interactive with the chat, I just want to get through this, get back on the saddle, and then try my best to go to fucking bed. But this is important information in truth. So I'll come back to the chat soon enough, but I have to just show this. So we will go to where the creator went off anyway, but like she's like the spokeswoman for it. In truth, Melina, as I said, you know, this woman here, this is who we're focusing on. This fucking parasite. Okay. So just scroll a wee bit further down, like, and then should be just here. Here we go. Okay. So I'm going to let this play, and we'll speak about it after. This is the creator of the Building Racial Literacy Program, which, of course, is her program which comes off the back of this, which, of course, as I said, they have updated their website, so you'd never fucking know. But I've got you, motherfuckers. I've got you. So I've got you good, like. Oh, I've got you. Anyway.
It seems here of what some of the issues are and some of the kind of concerns that we're trying to address. There's been a huge amount of work done, which was recognised in the follow-up report, about trying to close that awareness gap in terms of racial literacy. Do you want to talk a wee bit about some of the work that you've done about anti-racism and building racial literacy across the country?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. And thanks, Angel, for sharing that story. Angel is also a member of participants on the Building Racial Literacy program, and we've got a couple.
Yeah, I'll slow it down a bit. Like that's a bit. What?
In the audience, so it's great to see so many people engaged. And yeah, I also had the same issue trying to set up an anti-racist club, but with pupils explaining why they thought anti-racist is actually really important and part of our social justice values. It eventually worked. So don't give up on the term anti-racist.
You know, I had to stop it there because even the woman that she refers to a woman called Angel. I've made videos on Angel in the past. She's one of her apprentices, so to speak. She's an anti-racist educator, as they call themselves. And she works with autistic children. She's a fucking cunt. She works with autistic children and she promotes critical race theory. I fucking hate these people, man. I really do. I really fucking hate them. They're disgusting.
So yeah, just to give you a bit of background on what's going in Scotland, the Building Racial Literacy program is a professional learning program prototype that has been co-constructed with a range of anti-racist organisations, including the Scottish Association for Minority Ethnic Educators, so with Khadija here, and it's part of the wider Scottish Government programme of work looking at race, equality and anti-racism.
It's part of the wider Scottish Government programme. They didn't tell you about that in the manifesto though, did they? Nah, they didn't. Nicola Thinlips drives about, oh, vote for me and you'll get your independence. Aye. Then you vote for them. You don't get your independence because it's predicated on false promises, but what you do get is this fucking shit.
Racism in education. And this first iteration of this prototype program is really designed to build the racial literacy of educators across Scotland. And what we mean by racial literacy, we're really looking at developing people's understanding of racism. And just to touch on the point about misconceptions about racism, there's still that misconception that racism is
this
really
part
about
is
individual.
Shut up. This part is this is off worthy notes because this is what these people do. They are redefining words because it's part of the subversive plot to subvert definitions of old, our establishments, our systems, our education, etc., etc. She's redefining racism. Open up a dictionary. Look what the term racism means, albeit many argue that it's not even a real word. You know, going back to the days of what Trotsky, whatever the fuck it is. I'm not here to be the judge of that. My point is, what she says contradicts the dictionary definition of racism, and I want you to hear it.
The racial literacy of educators across Scotland. And what we mean by racial literacy, we're really looking at developing people's understanding of racism. And just to touch on the point about misconceptions about racism, there's still that misconception that racism is really about individual hate and prejudice.
I will put it back. But here's her effectively, in no certain terms, sort of speaking of how the dictionary would define it. Oxford Dictionary, whatever the fuck you will. And she's like, oh, it's not about that, you know, you're racially illiterate if you think that. Oh no, it's more than that. Why does she know that? Oh, because she's half fucking Indian, half French. She went to university and did a decolonization studies degree, and she knows what she's talking about. So, you know, I'm just saying, she's redefining words. and the Scottish Government funds this fucking shit.
And what we mean by racial literacy, we're really looking at developing people's understanding of racism. And just to touch on the point about misconceptions about racism, there's still that misconception that racism is really about individual hate and prejudice, and it's usually intentional, and that wider systemic but also endemic nature of racism is misunderstood.
Systemic but also endemic natures of racism are misunderstood. I mean, what the fuck does that even mean? What does that even mean? Oh, I know what it means. It means that our structures, our systems, our organizations, our businesses, our education system, in part, all of it's racist. All of it's racist, and it all needs to come tumbling down.
There's a misunderstanding that racism is not really an issue in Scotland. It's more an issue in England or in the US, but not.
So that's gaslighting. Nobody says that.
Really in Scotland. So in this program, we're really trying to raise people's awareness of how racism works in Scotland, uplifting, amplifying those experiences of racism in Scottish education, so that educators become aware of how it can operate, even within their classrooms, often unintentionally.
Oh, you need to hear this bit. You need to hear this bit. This is chef's kiss material.
Sense of racism in Scottish education, so that educators become aware of how it can operate, even within their classrooms, often unintentionally, because they're unaware.
Often unintentionally, racism occurs unintentionally, quite often in the classroom because they're unaware. I mean, wow. You know, I would not care. I really would not care about what this fucking BAME crackpot had to say if it wasn't for the fact that our government funds this fucking shit. So that leads me to the actual program itself. But what is building racial literacy as it's described as here? Well, let me show you just that. I can have the tab somewhere. Here we go. Oh, what a shock. The laptop starts being a dick. No, we're all good. So we have a plethora of things here that I could go through. I'll show you their definitions of racism, and then I will show you what they describe to be racial literacy. But before I do that, and as I say, I might be sort of repeating things that I've showcased in videos before, but I'm doing this for the purpose because I want to show to people who might very well want to run with this information. So the Anti-Racist Educator was a website that I came across several years ago. And it says it's based in Scotland. The Anti-Racist Educator is a collective of educational stakeholders, including students, teachers, parents, academics, and activists, working toward building an education system that is equitable, free from racial injustice, and critically, always emphasizing the word critically whenever they can, engage with issues of power, identity, and privilege. Okay? Now, I'm not going to read for their bullshit. I'm just going to show you something. Who's that? Oh, I wonder. Could it be? No, surely not. No, of course it's not. No, well, it fucking is. It's the same woman. It's Melina. It's the same Melina that I highlighted her name down here. Like, it's the same woman. The same fucking woman who works with Education Scotland. If I could find the tab. Yeah. This. Yeah. That. Same bitch. And she's a bitch. She's disgusting. I'll tell you why she's disgusting, in truth. She's disgusting because her identity crisis, her insecurities have led her down a path. And do you know what's funny, actually? On the Anti-Racist Educator's website, she speaks at length on the blogs. She speaks at length. And one of these blogs that I read, and I've read them all, believe it or not, but one of these blogs that she speaks of, she talks about how she never used to be this way. But she went to one of these sort of conferences and she became propagandized, right? Radicalized even. But why I think she's a fucking bitch is the fact that her program, her motivations for life, her political ideology centers around targeting our children. I've got a wee boy. I've got a wee fucking baby boy. Plenty of people that watch my stuff from Scotland that have got children. This is disgusting fucking shit. You've no idea. Let me show you. Okay. So we got racism. I want to show you. I'm pretty sure it's racism. Aye, look at this, right? This is all the different definitions of racism. Okay? So it says, racism is such a challenging concept to define in one sentence. Ah, yeah, because you're expanding the goalposts and redefining it as you fucking go. This is the point. It drives me nuts. This shit drives me nuts. It is often forgotten that racism does not only disadvantage some people based on race, it's also privileges based. I mean, fuck off. Anyway, so we've got interpersonal racism, internalized racism, institutional racism, systemic racism, theological racism, systemic racism, cultural racism, racial capitalism, environmental racism, right? Coloniality. And then it gets fucking worse. It talks about racism being race, prejudice, and social and institutional power. Racism being a system of advantages or being advantaged, being an advantage for people based on race. What the fuck am I talking about? Racism, a system of oppression based on race. Racism being a white supremacist system. Okay? This is what they fucking believe. This is what they say. Race itself, may I add, is a social construct, as they say. Now, I am Scottish. I'm not white. But, you know, just saying, this is what they're doing. I understand their attacking is all the same. Anyway, so let's get to racial literacy. Let's see what racial literacy means. So, racial literacy, also known as racial consciousness, refers to an individual's deeper awareness and understanding of race. With racial literacy comes the tools and vocabulary to discuss more complex ideas about race and a growing understanding of how racism operates in its multiple forms. Okay. This bit here, though, this bit's a fucking doozy. So it says, racial illiteracy is very common in the West, where people are taught from a very young age that everybody is equal, race does not matter, and if everybody adopts a colorblind lens, then racism will disappear. And they're even so courteous to include in brackets there. You know, colorblind means stop seeing race. Then racism will disappear. This is a problem, however. Racial illiteracy, is hugely problematic. It's problematic. I mean, for fuck's sake. It's madness. It's madness. It's genuinely fucking madness. I see, when I was growing up, never considered. Well, I had no reason to be fair. I grew up in an ethno state, Scotland, yes, particularly the Highlands. But just to think that there's BAMEs out there who've got this grudge, this chip on their shoulder, and they think it's a problem that I don't see race. Well, whatever. Okay, you do you half Indian, half French dick. Anyway. Racial illiteracy is hugely problematic as we begin to realize the disastrous impacts of implicit racism and institutional racism propagated by the state and those with most power. Anybody can be racially illiterate, regardless of race. In an attempt to defend racist rhetoric, it is common to hear people say that their one black friend said there wasn't any racism in Scotland. Right, I mean, half this shit's nonsense. But then it says, this bit here, man. This bit here. Just, do they have an understanding of the insidious operations of racism that make it seem non-existent aside from the occasional outbreak of hate crime incidents? Hate crime incidents and hate crime related murders, by the way, that this bitch refers to in one of her blog posts. And she refers to 4, if I remember rightly. And not one of them was Chris Donald, and 2 of them were fucking from England, including Stephen Lawrence. Like, okay, yeah, because we're really talking about equality here, aren't we? It's not selective fucking nonsense. No, of course it's not. Anyway, let me refresh or reverse. Do they have, and here we go again, a critical understanding of the historical violence associated with racial slurs that are still uttered from the thin lips of aggressive white terrorists? White terrorists? I mean, what are you fucking talking about? Like, oh, fuck. Oh, pardon my French. I shouldn't say French because this woman's half French. Pardon my German. Well, I can't say it like that because that would make me a Nazi. Pardon my Swedish. Racial literacy involves adopting a more nuanced understanding of race. It takes time to develop, and it is a lifelong project. Is that so? Which then, of course, brings me back to the Building Racial Literacy program. This is where we're at now, which is a program which promotes anti-racism. Now, as I said, this is where the misconception seems to come into effect, because this is what the SNP spoke of in their manifesto. They said that they intended at a later date to implement anti-racist curriculum, anti-racist education. They did not specify, however, that it was critical race theory. Now, everything that I've just shown you up until this point is most blatantly critical race theory propagation. But hey, I'm just a fucking crackpot on the internet, eh? Of course I'm like. Anyway. The ultimate goal of the Building Racial Literacy program is to make every educator in Scotland racially literate. Yeah. Wow. Isn't that sweet, bold and progressive? Co-constructed with a wide range of partners, including education practitioners and stakeholders on the Scottish Government's Race Equality and Anti-Racism in Education programme, which brings us full circle, just to showcase same thing that I started this stream off with. It's the same fucking thing. This is what this is. This is what this is. Anyway, the Building Racial Literacy program has been tested by a first cohort of 88 participants across 27 local authorities. And as I've showcased on my Telegram channel and my videos and whatnot, they're currently on their second quote-unquote cohorts. You know, general expectations for participants. Right? Let's have a wee look. Who is this program for? It's open to all educators in Scotland. Program being, though, for those interested in becoming anti-racist educators. But are we really talking about anti-racism? Is that all this is? Nah, it's fucking no. Is it like it's no? It's no. No matter where you are on your anti-racist learning journey, just cut your penis off and put your pronouns in your bio. You'll be fine, you know? General expectations for participants. Participants on this national fucking program. Fucking national program. Nobody knows. Nobody fucking knows. Vote for me. You get independence. And this is what you get. You get a feminist foreign policy. you get sustainable development bullshit, and you get anti-white bile directed towards your fucking children, and you expect me to be happy about that? Like, you fucking cunts. Commit to 2 afternoon induction events for this bullshit. Who cares? Become part of an anti-racist learning network and a national movement for racial literacy. Now, as I said, what I just read out what racial literacy meant. Yeah. Collaborate and support anti-racist change in your context, following your personalized action plan. Oh, and I've seen these action plans, by the way. Oh, I have. I've seen screenshots anyway. Fucking unbelievable. Let's see if there's anything else of worth discussing here. In TIFF, probably not. Let me show you something else as well. All right. Okay. So this is different. See this laptop, man. It's like fucking Basil Brush's jokes. Shite. But we'll see what happens. Fucking hell. Right. Here we go. That should be it. Download. Let me show you this. Where did I get this from, by the way? In case you think I'm just looking at some weird French bullshit. Let me show you this. This is from Scott Deck. Okay. And as I say, I'll post all this shit when I'm done. Scottish Government's website. Came from this hyperlink. Okay. So I'm not just looking at weird shit to go, oh, well, look at this. Like, no. This is from the Scottish fucking government. Anyway, let me show you this. I think it's... This PDF here, rubber stamp by our government. You know, over for me getting independence because we're nationalists. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so you've got white fragility, brave spaces, safer spaces, social identity, a world without race being a social construct. But that's not what I want to focus on. Look at this. Look at this. Now, for I read out the quote. Oh, does that name ring a bell? Does that name ring a bell? Well, I bet it does. Melina, whatever the fuck your name is. Oh, what a shock. Here you are again, you fucking boot. And what does she say down here? White tears are the specific phenomenon where a white person starts crying in response to an accusation of racism, okay? That they have committed. While the committer might feel sad or guilty or ashamed, focus should not be with them, but with the person who has experienced harm. This is within the parameters of teachers educating pupils so effectively. Now, I'm speculating here because it doesn't actually say that verbatim, but it's to be implied as far as I'm fucking concerned. That the reality is here, teachers promote their anti-racist shit to their class. And if a white kid has the audacity to shed a tear, that's a phenomenon in and of itself. Just like white fragility is. It's called white tears. You fucking cunts. I fucking hate them. I hate anybody that promotes this. It's just disgusting. Anyway, I move on, because I'm ending this stream soon, I just wanted to show you things, I guess, because it has to be shared. Fucking it has to be shared and whatnot. So, the Building Racial Literacy program aims to set anti-racism as a baseline professional value, empowering educators to identify and implement anti-racist behaviours and process in everyday practice. The ultimate goal of the Building Racial Literacy program is to make every educator in Scotland racially literate. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So anyway, to conclude, this here, by the way, oh my god. Oh my god. Their webinars. I watched in full their webinar. Anti-racist school clubs. Anti-racist school clubs, man. Infiltration, subversion. That's what's coming. That's what's happening. We currently have 2 recorded webinars available to view online. Here now. I haven't seen the second one. Ooh, wait a minute. Fucking you better hope, you motherfuckers, that you've fucking private that, like. I don't see a link to it though. What? Doing this in real time very quickly. Wait a minute. Come on. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Welcome everyone to the BRL webinar series. This webinar focuses on
anti-racist. This is going to have to wait for another day, folks. I'm going to have to watch this in full, which I'm going to do the minute I come off the stream. But you motherfuckers, you stupid bastards. You shouldn't have done that, like. You're fucked now. I'll make it fucking my personal mission to ensure that you motherfuckers are exposed for this disgusting bullshit. But here they are, keeping their... Look at it, unlisted, you're keeping it hidden, you motherfuckers. Oh, you are fucked. You are fucked. Anyway, let's see what the chat is saying before I fuck off. I'm going to have to watch this. You disgusting cunts. Where is it? There we go. 3 people watching me. Oh, I'm so popular. Let me see where people are saying no. Oh, they're fucked. I can't believe I've seen that. All of it's racist in your ways. So, yes. Well, that's just what annoys me about these people. They just insinuate consistently that whites are to blame for everything. Just, as I say, it's not even so much that they hate us as adults. Like, I don't give a fuck. But it's the kids. As I say, man, I've got a wee baby boy, so shit affects me differently now, like, in truth. But it annoyed me anyway, but no, it's different now. But when you defend yourself, race does not exist. That's a pretty big brain take, like. But yeah, no, you're not wrong, I think, depending on what you mean. But here, I'm going to post all link. In fact, before I go, where did it go? Oh, they are so fucked for this, you stupid bastards. Have fun with that, boys. And there's only like 3 of you watching. Have fun with that. Yeah, there we go. Hey, I've got a dog to walk, and then I've got a webinar to watch. So, love yous and leave yous. I hope you can do something with the information that I provided and take it easy and don't do anything that I wouldn't do. All right. Catch you later. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching for the few that were. Adios, amigo.